Howdy, folks. It's that time already, Wednesday evening. We'll get this show on the road. I've got video already made. I've been editing. I got it ready for this Sunday. Got the Sunday's giveaway all ready to go. Got next Wednesday's all ready to go. I went on and made a couple videos ahead of time. You'll hear me say in the video probably. Try to make 2. They call for thunderstorms every evening this week. We had thunderstorms yesterday evening. They call for severe thunderstorms this evening. So I thought, if we go get thunderstorms next, 5 or 6 days, I better be making some videos ahead of time. Of course, that means sometimes you can get out there in the morning, right? So, hey, it is what it is. So I try to make a couple ahead of time so I don't have to worry about it. Don't have a whole lot of work going on. I got a few little jobs. Got a little job I'm going to do tomorrow. Done a little job today. I've been remulching my house, my beds and stuff. Resealed my driveway last Saturday, during the 4th, right? Friday and Saturday, that's what I done. I went and fished that morning, and I come in and worked on my driveway sealing it, and I finished it Saturday morning. And then I remulched my beds, my flower beds and stuff. So I've been working some for me. But I got a couple little jobs to get done next couple of weeks. I need to get on, so I gotta fish. You know, work gets in the way sometimes of trying to fish, doesn't it? All right, y'all ready? Hope y'all enjoyed the video today. 58. Okay. Some of the videos I got coming up are with the smaller baits. What I found out too, the cricket, they would hit the cricket good during Monday and Tuesday because the fish have been shook up some. They would hit the cricket. They hit the tadpole junior or the Tweety bird. They'd hit the fathead minnow. They would bump at the LC Shad. I got one of them to hit it. They act like they was, I don't know, that type of thing. Y'all have black crappie. They'll follow you. They'll pull at it. There's guys, sometimes you just got to go small. You got to tweak it, figure out what you're going to use. Color-wise, too, I played with a couple colors. It seemed like certain colors I wanted. And I'm going to mention this, too. I showed y'all the remelt colors last week. The Virginia Shad, the flash color. Okay, there's, off the top of my head, I think a couple more. Solid colors. I was thinking about this today. Most of the baits you hear people talk about on some of these channels are 2-color baits, laminated baits, 2 colors. You walk in the store, most of the big brand baits are 2 colors, right? Some of them 3. There's nothing wrong with the solid color bait. The flash color, the Virginia Shad color, I'm going to tell you, I've seen me fish with it many a times. People comment back to me about it. It's a great color. It looks like a minnow. It does. You can't beat them. There's a lot of times they work just as well as anything you throw in the water. Don't be afraid to use the solid color baits. Us older guys, that's all we had at one time. You go back, when I first started bass fishing and crappie fishing, I think I said this in the video, we used to buy grubs from Mr. Twister's. And then different brands came out, okay? And Kleins and different ones came out with them after that. Most of them were solid color. You know, you had pumpkin seed, you had watermelon, you had brim, that was Junebug, black, white. Then you had smokes with different silver flakes, some with red flake. That's what we used a lot of, even in rubber worms for bass, right? Then corporate come out started on the dual color worms, right? You had green shad, red shad, that's right. Yeah, guys, I've been fishing for a while. Gosh, I was raised on a river, so I've been fishing since I was a kid with a cane pole. We used to use the cane pole years ago for suckers and stuff. The river ain't that big, and they work just great. You could reach out there with a cane pole, kind of like your long rods today. Come think, that just hit me. Bam. We're using 10, 12-foot rods today. We would get cane poles that were 10, 12, 11 foot. Just tie a line on. You could reach out to the creek, about halfway across the creek, right? And just drop your line down. So we was long poling. We were long poling back in the 60s and 70s, guys. Oh, that just hit me. Yeah, we was long poling when, back then. Isn't that funny? But that's basically what we was doing. You just drop down to the sucker. We used to fish for suckers, red eyes. Some of y'all don't even know what a red eye bass is, but they don't know what they are around here either, guys. We don't have them around here. We had them in the mountains. I'm from the mountains originally. But there you go. Fishing hadn't changed much. Don't be scared of a solid color. We used to use them all the time. That's all we had. And sometimes a solid color will outperform a dual color. or laminate color, however you want to say it. The number is 58. Let's take off. It's going to be pretty easy. Oh, look at there. Well, that hit me. That was fast. I wasn't expecting that. All right, so we got 40. We already got a 50. It's going to take from 50 to 58. 51 to 58 to win. 30. Okay, 194. I didn't mess him down. 35. Come on. My computer keep up with me. 13. I figured this was going to be easy. All right. Well, y'all let me know what you think. A lot of times I say things like that. Y'all let me know what you think. Nobody ever comments. Once in a while, a few of y'all guys will say, yay, this and that. And I appreciate that. I like reading and see what your thought is. All right. And you might think of somebody. You might say, hey, certain brand had dual colors and they were probably 1975 or something. You know, hey, we used to buy these rubber worms from Kmart. How y'all remember that? Kmart had their own brand of rubber worms. They were skinny, had a little curl tail on them. They were good too. And they were solid, like solid purple, solid light blue. Y'all remember those? They were good. I got a lot of bass on those. I think they had little grub stuff for crappie too. You know, but back in the 60s, guys, early 70s, we crappie fished. Most of the time we used minnows. I mean, that was it. Most everybody bought minnows for crappie. Today, I can't tell you the last time I used a minnow. Probably been, I think about 3 years ago, I got some neighbors down here, they're older folks, and every once in a while they go, will you take me crappie fishing? I'm going to get some minnows. And I take them, and I don't use the minnows. They do. I use jigs. And usually, most of the time, I've took people from out of state too that own lake houses and stuff here that ask me to take them. I like to catch some crappie. I'll buy some minnows. I'll pick you up at your dock, and I take them. And they'll use minnows. Most of the time before the day's over, or that morning's over, they'll say, show me how to use that jig. You're catching just as many as we are, and we're fooling with the minnows. Most of the time, they want to use a jig before the day's over. They want to get rid of those minnows. Now, they're catching them with the minnows, but they see me pitching back under the dock, reeling them out under the dock. Hard to get a minnow under a dock, right? You got to pitch up close to it, or if you got a little float, and you get downwind, you can let the wave action and the wind carry your float up under the boathouse. That's what you got to do. Most of these docks around here are only 6 inches, some of them up to about a foot off the water. So, but you're not going to pitch a minnow with a bobber on it unless you have a slip bobber. Then you got to be careful. You just throw the minnow off, right? That's right. All right, guys. Y'all let me know what you think about that. Do y'all remember some of the older baits? Some of y'all older. On my site, in the studio part, it tells us the average age, all right, of the listeners. By their information, I have hardly nobody under 20 years old. From 20 to 30, I think it's like 2%. From 30 to 40, it's like 8% of the people that watch. Everybody else is 50 and above. So, and that's fine. That's most of those crappie fish, right? A lot of young people, I hear people say this a lot. A lot of the young people bass fish. And I've heard older people say this. Yeah, I bass fished all my life, but you know what happens to old bass fishermen? And I've had a couple of times, what's that? We turn into crappie fishermen later on. There might be something to that, because I used to bass fish hard, and I crappie fished some too, but I was diehard bass fisherman. But I was fishing bass tournaments and stuff. Once I quit fishing bass tournaments, and my son was old enough, he was like 10, 8, 9, 10, so he wanted to fish more. We still fished for bass, and we fished for striper some. But we got to where we fished for crappie more. That's right, just as much as we did bass. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. We're doing this again Sunday. Load on Sunday, draws on Wednesday, right? Because a lot of people still leave their numbers on Thursdays and Fridays. I say it twice in the videos if I don't forget. I say it on the water part, and I say it in the bait part. Cricket, motor oil cricket coming this Sunday. Great color, great bait. Catches a lot of crappie. Hope you enjoy that. And like I said, I got 2 more coming up I made Tuesday on small baits. See y'all guys next time.